Hello and welcome to Seaside Wishes, where we created this card, which I'll give you a closer look at later. And today we're creating this cute little box to hold a nice chocolate. I've already put a couple things in this little box to show you. It will hold two Werther's caramels. It will hold one of these Caramello chocolates. Actually, it might even hold two. But let's just put that in there like that and show you a Caramello chocolate. It will hold one of these like little mini Mentos candies, or actually it might even hold two of those. It will hold a Hershey nugget treat. This one already has some designer paper around it, or both. So this is a nice little treat box, and it's easy to make. And then what I've done here, we'll take you through the steps, is this little guy is just an extra embossed one that you can stamp an affirmation on there. So you could say, sometimes the simplest things mean the most. And you put that in your treat box, right? And you could even wrap the little candy with designer series paper or the chocolate. Or you could put love you. Or you could put both, right? You could put love you on one side, this on the other. And then I thought you could even put a little ribbon on them and like put them both together on a tag and put them in there. Or I was just thinking just like that, little affirmations. Wouldn't that be fun to put in your kid's lunchbox? Wouldn't that be fun to put on your coworker's desk? I mean, just so simple. All right, so let's go ahead and make the box. First thing you're going to do is get out your hybrid embossing folder. This is the bee's knees. I love this thing. It's a 3D hybrid embossing folder. So you can die cut and you can emboss all at the same time with this little guy here. Or you could just die cut and not emboss. Or you can just die cut and stamp. Like you could stamp a sand dollar and just cut it out. But why would you want to just cut it out when you can emboss it too? I think it looks really good like that. So to use the hybrid embossing folder, your sandwich is base plate number 1. And then all you're going to do is put your paper in the folder with your die, and then you're going to have a number 3. If you're not sure about what I'm talking about, whenever you use a 3D embossing folder, of which this is, it will give you a little cheat sheet down here. All right, so as I gather these items we need, I'll introduce myself here and we'll just get started. My name's Kimberly Smith. I'm the Papered Chef. And I teach on my channel card making tutorials. I teach how to use the paper pumpkin kits and things that we sell at Stampin' Up. I'm a U.S. Stampin' Up demonstrator. I'm a brother scan and cut expert. And that's like a self-proclaimed expert. No one's given me the title. I just gave myself the title. You can give yourself a title if you feel like you're an expert in something. I'm just self-taught in that. I don't work for the company Brother Scan and Cut, and nor do I work for Stampin' Up. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. But I do teach you how to use the machine, the scan and cut machine. I'm just taping the die into the top of the embossing folder like so it doesn't slip. There's a little notch in there to hold it in there. And I'm known as the Papered Chef. So at the end of this video, I'll show you what the card club is that I offer. I'm putting in a piece of gold foil. I'm going to do it again, so I'll do it faster the first time and slower the second time. All I'm going to do is put the piece of paper in there. The Stampin' Up side of the embossing folder is facing up. I'm going to put the cover on it, and I'm going to roll it through. So what, in essence, this is going to do, and of course, open up the back of your machine so it can come out the back. This is going to die cut and emboss a beautiful gold sand dollar. And those of you that have my kit, if you missed video number 1, you missed the contents of my kit, but my kit has these supplies that you need right in the kit. You'll have some gold foil that you need, and there you go. Is that beautiful or what? So you have a thick cardstock, it's embossed, and it's gold. You also have in your kit some blue foils, but we're using them for something else, but you can go ahead and use them for your box if you like. I mean, we're going to use them for another project. And next I'm just going to grab, oh, by the way, if you put the whole piece in there, it'll emboss it like that. I'm just going to grab another piece. And I wanted to say this. When I gave you a piece, let me go ahead and grab my trimmer. I gave you, dump off, a piece that was 4 by 6, I believe. So what you're going to do, is, since you need 2 of the pieces like this, you're going to take the piece I gave you, unless you want to just make 3 different color sand dollars, unless you have more of this foil, you're going to go ahead and take it and make these little pieces 3 by 4. They actually only need to be like 3 by 3, but because I gave you a 4 by 6 piece, just cut it in half like so. Okay, so anyway, on my channel, I teach brother scan and cut tutorials, of which I also have many classes that I've come up with. I design myself. I teach many card making tutorials, 3D paper crafting tutorials like we're doing right now. We do watercoloring, we do stamping, we do embossing, we do all kinds of paper crafting techniques. I'm more on the advanced side, so if you want beginner things like, you know, lots of beginner card makers, there's lots of other tutorials online. I'm probably not your person, but I don't do many things that are just very, very beginner, but I do things that are easy, or else I just make them look easy. Okay, so easy and beginner are different things. So I have a lot of techniques I teach you, and I hope that you get inspired. All right, so I'm putting the piece of paper on the bottom part of this embossing folder like so. I'm just covering up the sand dollar. I'm folding this down and making sure that my sand dollar is covered there, and then this part doesn't really matter because I'm not doing anything to that part. Okay, just when I'm showing you this part, the hinge of your embossing folder, whenever you're using an embossing folder, doesn't matter which one, you put it hinge side first into the machine. Okay, and then you put your lid on, number 4. And we roll it through. And that is as simple as that. So you have, and that's all you need, is 2 sand dollars. Now, these sand dollars have a flat side, and just keep in mind that that will be the bottom of our box. So you put these back to back. There's a flat side, and that way your box doesn't roll, okay? See, it won't roll. It'll be like the bottom of your box is flat. If you want to reinforce it more, you can do extra layers. But that's all we need for now. So now we're going to take a piece of black cardstock. Again, this was in your kit. If you want to know the contents of the kit, you could still sign up to get my kit. And I'm talking about my workshop kit because during the months of July and August, I'll be featuring this really awesome bundle, Seaside Wishes bundle. Doesn't just have this stamp set with it, the embossing folder, this die here, but a bunch of other beautiful dies as well. And again, I'll show you a closer look at that card. My kits are $49 US, and they do not include, and I would like you to purchase it from if you can, but they do not include this bundle itself. This bundle you purchase from Stampin' Up! Directly. Okay, so the kit would be the supplies that you need to follow along. But my tutorials are freely available, so of course you're following along now. You can obviously follow along without my kit because I make things freely available for the most part. That's how I roll. All right, so what I'm doing now, I just had to chop off because I had some extra scraps. I am making the piece that you're going to need for the box, for your treat box, like so. Now let me grab a little piece of paper, and I'll write down those measurements for you in just a moment. So we're going to take this little guy, this little piece of black cardstock. Again, you have a piece in your kit, and you're going to make it 4. Okay, so it's going to be 4 inches. Mine's already 4 inches. 4 inches wide by 3 1/4. 3 1/4. Or I would say 4 inches long by 3 1/4 wide. Okay, so before we get any further, and that was after I tried different, measurements. This was not, that one was too big. It's kind of like, that one was too wide. I tried it different ways, and this is the one I've come up with, and I think that's a perfect size for holding the treats. And because when I came up with the size, I wanted the sand dollar to hide the box so that the box fits in the confines of the sand dollar. All right, so we need a pen, and then I can do the next part of this tutorial. So here's our little piece, and we're going to start with that. All right, so this is called what I'm doing right now. And let me go ahead and grab my map. I don't like to write or craft right on top of my table because, sometimes I just write right into the wood with my pen. All righty, here we go. We're at Seaside Wishes, and we're on part 2, but I'm not really labeling the parts like I used to because it got people confused because they thought they needed to have part 1 before they could do part 2, and that's not the case. Each of the tutorials on my channel, unless it is part of a series, where you have to do things in parts. Like sometimes I teach infinity cards and they're more complicated and I do them in parts. But most of the times in these tutorials on my channel, each one is independent. So first you're going to cut out 2 large sand dollars. And you're using gold foil. So this gold foil is available at my store, but it's on low inventory. So as of today, I did order some more because I'm putting it in my Scan and Cut Retreat kits, giving everybody like a little sheet of it, a little small sheet of it, like a 6x6. Anyway, it's on low inventory. So if you like gold foil, like the one I'm using, spectacular, and you like that it's thick and it's cardstock and it's good quality, and you want it to turn out the way mine are turning out, then get the gold foil. If you want to go buy cheap stuff at a different store, then that's fine. It's up to you. Do whatever you want. But I think that you're going to get great results if you buy high quality crafting items that are, made with love. All right, so that's the step 1. And now step 2 is going to be, you're going to use black cardstock and you're going to make the box. And the box is going to be 4 inches wide, or I'm sorry, long, 4 inches times 3 1/4. Okay. And now we're going to score. So this is going to be cut. When you make a box, you're going to do cut and you're going to score. And then you're going to glue the edges. Okay. So cut and score. So you're going to score. Whoa, that's not the way to write the number 1, is it? 1 inch. Here, let's just make the 1 really prominent. 1 inch on each side. Okay. So I will show you that. Now, why am I not using this to score? This is what's called a paper trimmer, and it's the Stampin' trimmer, and it comes with a cutting blade and a scoring blade. Well, I do so much cutting that I'm always, and this is my sharper blade is on top, my duller blade is on bottom for cutting things that don't need to be sharp. And I don't use my scoring blade with that because there's already 2 cutting blades on there. I think the better tool to use, in my opinion, from doing this thousands of times, is what's called the Simply Scored. It's a great little tool for scoring boxes and things. It has little ridges, and unlike the only disadvantage of this versus this, is the trimmer goes in 1/16 of an inch, whereas this Simply Scored tool, you can score at only 1/8 of an inch. That is really the only disadvantage of having this tool. The only advantage of having this tool is that it is more accurate for scoring. However, this is easier for me to score with this tool. So can you see I'm putting the black piece there, and I'm going to score. There are 2 sides to the scoring stylus tool that comes with your Simply Scored. There's a big side, which I use for making flowers and things, and then there's a small side. I'm using the small side, and I'm scoring at 1 inch all around. I'm going to score twice, and then I'm going to give you a closer look. When you use this tool, there's the number 1. It looks like it should be scored over there. That would be number 1. But the number is in front of the larger line. The larger line is actually the 1 inch mark. So you're going to score 1 inch on all sides. Okay. Now this is the box in the middle. That's the size of your box. It is scored at 1 inch on all sides. Now, because this is the valley, when you're making boxes, you're scoring down into the paper. You want to fold them mountain style. So valley score, and then you flip it over, and you're going to fold it like this. So this is a mountain fold. So there you got mountains and valleys. Okay, so you see where we're going with this? That's your little box. Score down, flip it over, and then you're going to fold. So now you have your measurements. I'll show you that again later. Well, if you want to take a screenshot. Because we're going to I want you to take a screenshot after I miter the edges. Because this isn't just all there is to it, but there's just a little bit more to it. Okay, so you need your paper snips, and you need a bone folder or a spatula. Okay, so this is what we need next. The next thing you're going to do in any box making activity whatsoever is you're going to miter the edges. Okay, and I don't have my reading glasses on, so running to grab them. Boy, I really want to eat a piece of this chocolate. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to first you're going to fold it over. So you're going to do this. It's called burnishing the edges. Like burn, baby, burn. Burnish the edges. Burn, baby, burn. All right, that's the first thing you do. Now it's all good. You've trained the paper. The next thing you're going to do is miter the side. So I just look at it and I say, okay, letter H. It's kind of how I think about it. Letter H. And I go and I just go like this. And I'm going to first just make the slits so you can see where I make the slits. I'm slitting along the score lines. This is if I'm making a box bottom and a box lid. Now this one doesn't have a lid. And there's a couple tricks when I make lids, but I've taught that in other box making tutorials on my channel. Now, in the simplest form, if you're teaching children to do this, I have a club, a kids craft club I've had for many years over different situations. It comes and goes. I'll probably do it again this fall. But when you do a kids class and you're teaching them how to make boxes, just don't go any further and just go like this. Everybody, glue the box together. And there you have it. Okay, so your box is done. Make it simple for people, and there's your box. Okay? But we're not kids. Well, maybe you are, but I don't think any kids watch my channel. I mean, I know my actual demographic for the most people that watch my channel is probably maybe over 65 or over 55 years old. So I know, like, kids are not watching this. So we're going to make it even more professional. We're going to miter the edges so that when we glue this box together, these little pieces are not sticking up on the sides. Okay? But this is good enough if you just want to make a box. That's how to do it. But we're going to go further. We're going to open it back up. And we're going to cut little triangles out. Both this side, triangles. I mean, they don't even have to be that big, guys. They really don't. You're just trying to make little slits. This is called mitering the edges. And, that would also be enough to probably keep your box, from coming out over the sides. However, we're even more professional, and we don't want anything to stick out over the sides. So we're going to go one step further, and we're going to even miter the edges like so. And now, if you do this to all your boxes, you never have to worry about any parts like sticking out over the sides. All right, so before I show you the next tip and trick, I'm going to leave these little triangles there so you can see them. Take this, put this here, and let you take your screenshot so that you know what your box is supposed to look like so. Okay, after you miter the edges and cut it out here. Just put this right over the top. Just put it over right here. Well, maybe I'll put half of it over here. I think it's better with contrast. You can see the edges. Voila. That is all there is to it. That's your measurements. And next we're going to get out the glue. And we're going to glue the edges. And now for this next part, it's good to have these here, my little clothespins. To help hold the box shut. All right, I found 3, so not bad. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to put glue on the flaps. Da, da, da. That's way too much glue on the flaps. I think my glue wasn't coming out enough, so I started cutting the top of this off more. Okay, so you're going to take this and you're going to you're going to just glue all the sides, and you're going to put your finger there and get a good edge so that this comes out, and don't make it go in too far, just on the edge. And then, ba-boom, put your clothespin there. Okay, go like this, push it, feel the edge. See, too much glue when you have glue oozing out, but it's all good. It dries clear. It's Tombow. It dries clear. And another clothespin. And then this one, just be careful. You could have glued 2 sides at once. Put those in there. Again. You could have a little baby wipe nearby. Or a silicone mat to rub all this extra glue on. And the last one is my finger. So you don't have 4 hands. So you use clothespins as your extra hands while you're crafting. And it shouldn't take long. I mean, you don't really have to blow on it. You just have to sort of do the do-do-do-do. Pretend you're on Jeopardy. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then it's dry. Okay? And there we go. And then it's, you know, just double check everything again. Just do this and get all the edges good. And now nothing sticks out and it's really professional. See the nice little edge inside the box. Here, let me turn up my light. I have this light behind me. Whoops, I gotta make it a little warmer. Okay, so you can see like it's nice inside. It's all mitered. The edges are mitered and it looks like a professional box. And then people peek in and they know you're not a little child making a box. You're a professional. Now for this next part, I think glue would work, but the reason I would like to use Seal Plus for this next part is because you have ridges, and if you're using glue, it'll go into the it'll seep into the ridges, or the, you know, these little grooves, and it's better that you have, you know, that you use the Seal Plus. Okay, so it goes about in the middle, and you're just gonna go ahead and, now remember again, I told you this earlier, I'm not sure those of you that just came in, I see 24 watching live. Thank you so much for watching live. I have some thumbs up, so hopefully hopefully all of you like it. So give it a thumbs up if you like the video. So what I'm doing is I'm making these two the bottoms. See how this is the bottom? Because it's flat, so the sand dollar doesn't roll, the box doesn't roll. With that being the bottom, that's where you're gonna put the adhesive. And I'm just using Seal Plus, which I just recently changed. So let's just go ahead and do that. And if you want to put the adhesive on here, you can, but it's just hard because you're not pushing against something. That's why I put the adhesive on that side. And then just go ahead and put the box on there. Okay. Da-da-da, and that's it. Easy peasy. Let's do the other side of the box. Flat side is at the bottom. Flat side of the sand dollar. Okay. And then I just put the adhesive in the middle. So when did I come up with this? Years ago. I've been doing this with pumpkins. You might have seen me do the little bear boxes last Christmas time. We made very cute boxes like this. You know, I just keep coming up with different sizes. Oh, this one I have to kind of put this one on the right there to make it level. So I do this a lot with pumpkins and apples and other things. But this time I'm just making it with sand dollars because that's what the object is of the focus of this month's workshop series. So you could make handles if you want. We've done this before where we've made this into a basket for Mother's Day. You could make ribbons. You could put ribbons on top. You can punch a hole. I mean, you could do all kinds of things. But we've done it with the Berry Cute box. Since it was such a tiny bear with the punch, we could only fit one little Hershey nugget. This is all we were able to fit inside the bear box. But this box, because the sand dollar is so big, we can fit so much more in it. All right, let's go ahead and now we're going to stamp our little sentiment. So we're using, sometimes the simplest things mean the most, or love you. Okay, so either or. And so what you want to do for that is just take some white cardstock. And you're going to take the size of the smallest sand dollar. So bet you didn't really think of doing this, but look, just pull this out. You don't need to emboss, especially if you're going to be stamping. So you're going to just take the smallest one. Well, unless you just want to go ahead and, you know, make it bigger anyway. But I'm just going to cut out little pieces, right? I don't want to make it very big. Right, so I'm just making a couple little pieces of white here. And you know my whole reasoning for, I hope you know my reasoning for not stamping first. I always do my die cutting and then I do my stamping. So we're going to die cut two pieces like this. Okay? Now, sometimes you might be worried, like if say you're die cutting. Let's get the die cutting sandwich. And this is your base plate. And now we're die cutting the metal part. So you need your thin die adapter, number one. Let's put that base plate there. This is your thin die adapter. It's called plate number 2. Okay, and then you're going to put a plate number 3. That's one plate number 3 down here. And then you put the die here. Now you might be worried because it's going to get wonky because there's a lot of paper here. So sometimes what I do, and I just did this earlier, is I just take something like a little bit, you know, just so it's not as uneven, and so it doesn't go straight into the plastic and get kind of stuck on the plastic, because I just put something else there. just to give it a little bit of, so it's not touching the mat directly. Okay, why not the basic white? Well, the basic white's more expensive than my sticky notes, that's all. But I only really just need 2 circles. And then we have another plate number 3 for the top. Now, if you're not sure about your die cutting sandwich, just go ahead and read the instructions on the plates. It gives you what to do. It tells you what to do. So now we have the difference between, yes, now we have these little circles, okay? Now we just have these. We can stamp onto them. Now you also want to cut yourself an extra gold one if you're going to make a little sentiment. I already did that one. And we're going to glue this onto there. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I'm taking, and I may have to flip it around to glue it directly. Okay, so just flip it around. So what you want to do is you want to emboss, and maybe, I hope you have enough gold that I gave you, and if not, then just use your, I think I gave you some of this other kind of gold, distressed gold. Or you can use your silver, or use just DSP, use designer series paper. So what I want you to do is just before you stamp onto it, make sure you're using the reverse, okay? So that this is going to be glued onto there afterwards, right? But so when we stamp onto it, it goes right onto our back of our sand dollar. Okay, so like so. That one's not. That one needs to be backwards. So flip them both around to make sure you're stamping on the right side of those. The right side meaning the reverse side. All right, now I'm just using black ink, and I already have the stamps. Oops. Let's get rid of this trash. And we have I love you, and we have the other one that says the simplest, sometimes the simplest things mean the most, which goes really well with the fact that you're giving someone a little candy, you know, and it does mean a lot just to give someone a little treat. I mean, you could even put a little sand dollar in here, right? That would be fun. But make sure you don't kill one. If you find one on the beach that's already dried out, that's different than if they're brown, they're alive. But if they're bleached out with white, that means the sand has been polishing them and bleaching them out. Then it's dead. And maybe you could put a little sand dollar in there as a little gifty. Okay. Maybe I have a sand dollar in my bag over there. Maybe I'll go grab that. Okay, but first, we're going to stamp. First, we stamp. Okay, sometimes the simplest things mean the most. I may need to push down on my stamp some more. Before I stamp onto my sand dollar, I want to make sure I'm getting a good image here. All right, looks good to me. Push down, hold it there for a few seconds. Okay, looks good. And now the other side will be, it was the other side of my stamping block, but I'm just going to go ahead and put the love you. So both of these will fit inside the sand dollar. And it would be cute even to ink up the edges, actually. You know, with the color, if you want, on the top and bottom of that. Okay. Okay. I went to go look for a sand dollar. I don't have the sand dollar in my room because we could have put the little sand dollar in the box. That would have been really cute. So next you're going to just go ahead and cut out and emboss. So we're going to, I think I already did that, but let's go ahead and get some more. Let's see. I've already done these. What we want to do is make these little guys. Because there's no sense having that cute shape with, you know, if you're not going to put something in it that fits that shape. So for the hybrid folder, again, this side, the top side has the little ledges on it. So it has little edges, ledges, I want to call them. So it's going to snap in there, sort of, right? But it doesn't snap in where it stays. Like it snaps in where it doesn't move. Like it doesn't slide. But you still kind of tape it a little because when you know, gravity, right? Gravity is going to make it fall down. It doesn't really snap and stay in there. So I put a little piece of tape. Just grabbing the other little piece of tape. All right, so we're putting that there, and I'm just going to go ahead and make a little little small one. And then I'm going to make another one. So this one, you don't want to make two at once. Only make one at a time. Not two. Okay, my sandwich is plate number 1, hybrid embossing folder, and a plate number 4. That's my die cutting sandwich. Rolling it through. We have an embossed, beautiful gold sand dollar. The tiny little scrap. We're being scrappy. And then this one, I'm just going to go ahead and put over the top of, see if it'll fit over that one as well. Yes. Yes, it will. I'm going to go ahead and do the top 2 at the same time with my extra scrap of gold cardstock. So we've just used Memento black ink. Make some extra sand dollars if you have enough paper, because you could just fill this with like cute little affirmations, right? Even the big ones will fit in your box. And that would be really cute as well to put little sand dollars in there, or real, like I said, a real sand dollars. We're just going to go ahead and glue these, or, we're going to use Seal Plus. You could glue them too, but again, the glue goes into the crevices. Oh, that looks like it smeared a little bit. I'm going to use this one. I love you. Love you. And we're just using Seal Plus. This one, because of the blob of ink, I'm going to actually do that one again. I didn't notice that, the blob of ink, when I was doing it. Or maybe it got on there later. You probably all noticed, but I didn't. Sometimes just to avoid my fingers getting all over ink, I just rub it with a piece of paper. Anyway, I already have one that says this, but you get the idea. So you're going to put those two together, and you're going to put your little candy in the box. Candy. I want some candy. And you put your little affirmation in there. And you could put one on this side as well. Oops. What happened to that? Oh, that was, here it is, this one. Put this one on that side. Make sure that they can, well, here, you can push them down. Push those down so that they don't stick out on the side because, right? Maybe put those in first, your little affirmations, and then put your candy in so that they don't stick out the sides, right? And then they can discover little things as they go. And that is how to make the craft. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Any questions? Thank you, Elaine, for saying to remember to click on the like button. She's talking about the thumbs up button. Yes, it was a lot of glue, Nola. I acknowledge it was a lot of glue. I said that too when I was doing it. It's because I cut the hole so big on the top of this. And Nola, thanks for typing up all the names for me for the challenges. That was very nice of you. I'm glad you're catching me live. Hello, Luis from Canada. Hello, Janet. Hello, Faye from Oregon. Hello, Debbie Salinas. Thank you for being a channel supporter. What I want to do now is just show you where this is in the catalog. I want to show you the other card we made with it and just a couple other projects I'm working on and stuff going on in my channel or on my channel. So, yeah, when you see a little icon next to someone's name, it means they're a channel supporter. So that means they help keep this channel going. It's how I offer so many thousands and thousands of things for free, because there are people who pledge to this channel each month, which is really nice. But I also have, if you want to go in more depth, I have classes that you can take. All right, so because I don't remember this where this is in the catalog, I have to look up where it is because I already changed my little sticky note. So it's page 73. I'm going to go ahead and take this one off. And this was last month's card club. And put this in here. All right, so here is the Seaside Wishes bundle. Stamp set and dies. And hybrid embossing folder. So you can see little samples done with up here where we can stamp the background, etc. So what I did for the first week during this series is we created two at once. I had one made and then we created two more at once. Hello, Colleen from Oregon. Thank you, Robin. Saying it came out nice. Thank you. I appreciate it. Elaine, appreciate you. Deborah, nice to see you again. Phil Ham, nice to see you. Kathy, Backyard Stamper, nice to see you. So I created this one using different pieces of the Country Lace Designer Series paper. So this is Designer Series paper, and this one and this one. It doesn't look like it. It looks like cardstock, but there's a bit of texture on these, and we mixed and matched. And of course, this one's designer paper too. And then this is called Distress Gold cardstock. All of these things were in your kit. So if you missed part 1 of the series, where we created all of this out of the Country Lace paper, the new back here, this background is the new basic beige cardstock. It's a new basic color. We use crumb cake as your background, which is part of your workshop series kit. If you want to get a workshop series kit, go here to my site or go down to the link on below over on the right. And it talks about my offerings, my clubs and offerings. And there you're going to see, but by the 10th of the month, you can still sign up for the workshop kit. So that's now. So like now, sign up now if you want the workshop kit, because I'm pretty much almost out of supplies. All right, so you absolutely made my day. And you can put basic white on the inside. I didn't do anything to the inside yet. So that's how to do this. This is Calypso Coral ink, Country Lace paper. Also in the kit, you're getting Country Woods paper and some specialty by the Bay paper, which is now retired. So you have like so many options for this. Now let me see what else I have to show you. I have this. These are like some swaps of mine, right? So this is a swap. Using this as the little swirls from the Latte Suite. I like the little swirl inside there. Really nice. So this is Honeybee Stamper. Honeybee Stamper's my upline. Hattie Walker Nelson. Beautiful card. She used Calypso Coral for the sea star and for the background of this paper. And she used that little guy. See these little dots down there? How she stamped it? The little subtle sandy stamp on the background. Okay, for this one is Danita Cook. Oh no, it's for Danita Cook. It was Julie Reef. Julie Reef made this card. Julie made this card as part of a swap we were doing for our team swap. She used soft sea foam, petal pink, so she went for the subtle color pattern. And I like how she used the rock and how she stamped the sand dollars. Okay, and then this one is Hannah Wild. This was another stamp. Another swap. I'm sorry. Of course, another stamp as well. Hannah used the embossing folder after she stamped the sand dollars, and she stamped these on white. And then I love this extra element, and the wood paper behind it, and also the crumb cake card. And this was just the swap I gave during that time. That was the Country Lace paper. Okay, so I'm putting these measurements in with the measurements from last time. So last time it talked about the measurements of this card, this card that we made. I did that one. So let me grab a couple more things to show you. It's starting to rain here. Okay, on my channel this month, last month when I unboxed this new product called the Season of Green and Gold, I created this card, and I told you the products will be available this month. Well, now it is July. If you're watching this later, it's July 2024. And during this month, these online exclusives have come out called the Season of Green and Gold, specialty paper and sweet, and it's just gorgeous. So if you like these kinds of cards, then I showed you how to make these. Okay, on my channel. So just search for, there's 2 videos. I created this one in an unboxing video of the online exclusives last month. And then this month, I created this one, the Christmas in July, as part of my Christmas in July. And when I showed you how to cut out these embellishments using your scan and cut. Okay. So maybe I didn't show you all the pieces of the card yet. Maybe I will. If I haven't actually shown you all the measurements of the card yet, I will. But I know that I showed you that this is what you can cut out. So it's a Brother Scan and Cut tutorial where I showed you how to cut out this vellum and these pieces of green and gold specialty designer series paper. Okay, so check out that. Hello, T. Barnes. Nice to see you. So this is what I'm working on now. I have everything I need and more. I mean, I have even more. I've been cutting out more since then. So I have a lot to work on for my swaps. I'm working on them in stages. Okay, also on my channel, I wanted to tell you, oh, it's not just my channel, but this is something Stampin' Up! Is doing. During the month of July 2024, in case you're watching this later, you can earn coupons. So it started on July 3rd. For each $50 you spend, you get a $5 coupon. So these are little papers I've printed out, 4 per page, so that I can put them in with my thank you cards to customers, and they let them know about the sale. And so you earn the coupons, and then you save you save these up, and you redeem them in August. Okay, so I've already earned a few that I'm redeeming in August. So yay for bonus days in July 2024. Okay, lastly, I already mentioned that there's something going on where you can order this kit by the 10th of the month. You can also subscribe to my Card on Blue Card Club kit. And this month we are featuring something else nautical, submarine life. You guys voted on it. My Card on Blue Card Club members voted. And this is what the kit is going to have. It's going to have some Thoughtful Journey Designer Series paper. And we're going to be making these 2 fun cards with the Thoughtful Journey. These tutorials will start probably this weekend. I'm going to start the tutorials for those and then finish those at the end of the month. And then we're going to make 2 cards using the Flowering Zinnias Designer Series paper. You don't see any flowers on this paper because we're using the opposite side of the paper. So you're getting a uniquely curated kit with all the die cuts you need and all the designer paper and some specialty paper that you need and some ribbon and embellishments to create 8 cards using these 4 designs that I've come up with. So that's what's going on my channel. Subscribe to my card club by the 10th of the month. Get the kit by the 10th of the month. And later this month, you'll be on my mailing list if you get any of those things from me. And then later this month, you'll hear about my upcoming Scan and Cut retreat, which will be next month. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed. Back to this. This is what we made, in case you just came in late. We made a cute little box that can hold, I was trying to find something gold. These are my little caramels from Werther's. I thought they looked good in there. And just Carmelo's, has a nice little color. So what we've created today in the Seaside Wishes workshop series, which will go on during the months of July and August, is we created these cute little treat boxes. Also coming up, we will be decorating the scalloped gift card holder boxes that were in your kit. We're going to be doing a lot of, oops. I created one for Christmas and I don't know what happened to it. Here it is. We'll be decorating these kind of boxes with the Seaside Wishes bundle. So you're going to get to see other projects, that are 3D. And we're also going to be making a shaker card and other cards, featuring the Seaside Wishes bundle during the months of July and August. So that's what we created today. This is what we created in part 1. And we're just going to keep on creating maybe 1 tutorial a week for the next couple months. That's how it'll roll on my channel. So glad you've tuned in. I appreciate you watching. This is the Paper Chef. Have a great evening.